Aubrey. How's it going?
I'm great. How are you, Jessica?
I am very excited because very recently I wrote a free IELTS book for everyone out there. Have you heard about this, Aubrey?
I have heard about it. I'm so glad you did this, Jessica, because IELTS is constantly evolving, right? There are small changes all the time that could really throw you off if you're not prepared on test day.
Mm-hmm.
And you listeners, we want to make sure that you're as up to date as possible. So I'm glad you did this to compile all of this in one place so that if our students, our listeners have this ebook, they're ready. They're all set with everything they need.
So yeah, what I did, guys, I spent a month or so talking to examiner contacts, old friends, people I know who are still examiners from around the world. And I got the inside scoop on how IELTS has changed, what this means for you on test day, guys, and what you can expect in the near future. Guys, I'm just going to tell you right now, IELTS is moving online. It's not going to be immediately because IELTS is a behemoth of an organization. So it'll take any change like that takes a while, but guys, it is happening. So you need this information, guys, if IELTS is in your future at all. So go to allearsenglish.com/new IELTS and you could get my free ebook. It's 55 pages. Like, it's substantial.
Yeah, so much information that you guys need to know. So, Jessica, thank you on behalf of our listeners. I know you guys are grateful. Make sure and go check that out, guys. This is such useful information. Free. Go to
And it's free.
allearsenglish.com/new IELTS.
There you go. All right, Aubrey. So we are actually talking about some grammar today, but very specifically grammar on IELTS listening. This is tricky because, guys, if you break grammar rules, if you have the wrong grammar in an answer, that whole answer is wrong. Like, listening is not just a listening test. It's also a grammar test, a spelling test. So
Yes.
if those things are wrong, your answer's wrong.
Yeah, and there's so much to know about test taking strategy, specifically IELTS test taking strategy, that if you're aware of it, you won't fall for the pitfalls that some students do if they just go in with very little information or expecting it
Mm-hmm.
to be like TOEFL or another test
Right?
that we are going to share with you today so that you have some of this inside strategy that can help you make sure you get these answers right.
Right. So, these three tips today, guys. These tips are for every single test IELTS gives you forever and always. Okay, these are things that will never change. These strategies on the IELTS exam. So I want to assure you that you do need to take notes today because these rules apply to every listening test you'll ever take for IELTS.
Yes, exactly. And before we dive into that too much, we want to give a shout out to one of our Three Keys
Yes.
students, Azin, who got amazing scores. He posted in our Facebook group. He was so excited. And he said he got listening 9, amazing, reading
Whoa.
8, speaking 7.5, and writing 7. He was
Oh my
saying, I
gosh.
was thrilled with my scores. I had taken the test so many times, getting a 6.5 in writing and speaking. Then he took 3 keys out and got the scores he needed and said he's blissfully happy. I love that.
Heck
Blissfully.
yeah. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. More power to this person. That's amazing. He made the choice to invest in our system and he got higher scores than
Yes.
he actually needed. Raised every single score in every category, especially that sticky speaking and writing scores, guys. Those are really hard to raise on your own.
Yes, seriously. So congratulations. We're so excited for you. Awesome. Really
That's
good. We want to
awesome.
give that shout out.
All right, so let's get into this topic today, Aubrey. This is based on a YouTube subscriber question, actually. Aubrey, can you read that question, please?
Yes, so it's from Blessy Bihag. It says, hello, I love your video. How about articles? Should we include them? For example, and this was a video about listening, so this is asking specifically about the listening exam. For example, if the audio says garden only with no article before the noun, and the question is availability of blank,
Mm-hmm.
is a garden correct, or should I write garden only? I've
It's a
seen this
great
question
question.
before where students are like, ooh, do I include the article or not? Yes.
Yeah, great question. Great question. So, we're gonna go through three tips, three rules, guys. That if you depend on these rules, you will get many more correct answers than wrong answers. Okay, fall back on these strategies whenever you're in doubt, especially about grammar. All right. So, rule number one, guys, and this is the golden rule for listening on IELTS. If you're ever in doubt about grammar, just write exactly what you hear, okay? Because that is more often right than not. It is so rare that IELTS will expect you to add something that you don't hear on the audio. So rare. Seriously, it almost never happens, okay? Knowing that going in, right? Be very confident in this rule, guys. Copy exactly what you hear. So if the audio says garden with no article, write garden with no article.
Exactly, right? Keep it simple. Listen closely so that you hear if they share an article or not. This is vital that you're really writing word for word what you hear in the audio.
But that's a good point to bring in for this rule number one, guys, because it does depend on you being able to listen very well and understand everything you're hearing.
Right.
Right? Or else this rule doesn't work. If you don't know what you're hearing, you can't copy it. So practice listening to as much native English as you can. Go to allearsenglish.com/follow and listen to the All Ears English podcast, guys. Get your head out of IELTS a little bit. Get some culture, get some vocab, and most importantly, improve your natural listening skills. So allearsenglish.com/follow. Go to that link on your mobile phone right now, guys, and it'll take you directly to the podcast. Hit follow, 4 new episodes a week. So that's rule number one, guys. Copy exactly what the listener says, but make sure you understand what the listener says. All right, what's rule number two?
So, rule number 2 is that when you check your answers, you should check the grammar. And if it's a complete sentence, you must have correct grammar. Like articles need to be included, they need to be correct, right? If it's note completion or maybe table completion, you don't need an article because it's not a complete sentence, right? They're needed when the sentence needs to make sense, the grammar needs to make sense, but that's not always the case on IELTS listening.
Exactly. So, short answer, note completion, table completion, diagram completion. Guys, any of these questions that do not have complete sentences as answers, you don't need articles, okay? So this is what this question would probably look like. It would be a note completion, and it would probably be a listening section 1. Listening part 1, a guy talking to a real estate agent. Actually, I think this is in a Cambridge book, and I've seen this exact one before. But what you'll see is you'll see availability of, and then there will be a line, and under that will be 2 more key words, because in the audio, they will talk about the availability of more than one thing. Right? So it'll be like a blank line, and then under that, maybe it says pool, under that it says gym, and there's no articles there. It's a list, right? So you would just say garden, and that's correct. That's fine.
Yes, exactly, right? You have to really be thinking about what type of section is this in the listening exam, and that is going to really help you determine whether it's an article or not. Match what's already there. If you have a list partially completed, notice how they've been filling that out and match that.
Exactly. That's rule number 3, guys. Look around the question. Look around that blank. If it's a table, right? If you are completing a table, look at that column, look at that row, look at the words surrounding it, and you are going to use parallel grammar in those blanks, and it has to match the column or the row. It has to match those other answers, okay? So take in everything around it, and it'll show you what your answer should look like. And that will also show you what to listen for. Do I need a noun? Do I need a verb? What is around this question?
Yes, exactly. That predicting is a step that so many students skip. And if you have a table partially completed, it's going to give you a very good idea of
Hmm.
what you need to be listening for. So take that time to be ready, to open your brain so that you're ready for if it's going to be a noun, an adjective, a verb, so that you know what to listen for. Then you can zero in on the audio instead of missing anything that you hear.
Yeah, yeah, completely. Guys, I hope you can tell how golden and simple these rules are and how they would help your IELTS score. Just like the student we mentioned at the beginning who got a listening 9. Most recently, this 3 Keys student listening 9. So if you want a simple system of strategies, guys, check out 3 Keys IELTS. It's available online right now, allearsenglish.com/KEYS. All right, for more article rules, guys, especially for writing and speaking, check out IELTS Energy episode 871. Aubrey's on there with Michelle, and we don't often hear that pairing over on IELTS.
I know that's right. So if you didn't hear that one, guys, don't miss it. It was part of our When Grammar Matters series.
So good.
We've heard this from us that not you don't want to bog down in grammar, but there are things that are important to know. And this was about articles on IELTS, everything you need to know about it. So check that one out for the rules you need to know and to hear Michelle and I, because you're right, that's a rare combo on IELTS
Yeah.
Energy.
And guys, remember, go to allearsenglish.com/follow, FOLLOW, so you can get more real English into your ears. Prepare for that exam, guys. Go to allearsenglish.com/follow and follow the All Ears English podcast. All right, awesome. Aubrey, thanks for chatting today.
Yes, so fun. I love a grammar episode.
Me too. All right. See ya. Bye.
Bye.